Item 10B, adopt a resolution approving cable television service rates effective July 1st, 2016, and amending the cable television low-income rate policy.
This item is not so popular and exciting, but good evening, Mayor and Council. Staff is here tonight to recommend a rate adjustment for just 2 of the cable services that we offer, and to also ask your approval for an expansion of a low-income policy to include basic internet service. You have before you the staff report, which details my presentation, and the subcommittee has also reviewed and made recommendations on proposals in an earlier meeting this past April. This rate increase is only the second one in the last 5 years for cable services and products, and it's necessary for cost recovery. Only 2 services will experience a rate increase, and they both are entirely due to cost recovery for internet and delivery of internet and video services, as well as programming fees for video. Programming fees that the department pays to the networks like ESPN, Lifetime, Disney, and almost every other channel San Bruno Cable carries continue to rise for all TV providers in the market, not just San Bruno Cable, Comcast, Astound, satellite folks. It's across the board, especially since there's some streaming available and people are cutting the cord, so it's continually going up. The limited basic platform, that's our most basic level of TV service, was originally considered for a rate increase but was avoided and not recommended for the lowest tier of basic service. The rate remains at the current rate and is slightly below the Astound cable rates and slightly above the Comcast rate without the Comcast box fees that they add on. We don't have a box fee for the first 2 boxes, so our rate is actually lower, but because they have to pay for their boxes, but in the rate sheet it'll show that we are a little higher. The expanded basic level of service, that's the next tier with 66 additional channels, will soon enjoy 2 new TV channels added to that service. They're being migrated to expanded basic platform due to contractual obligations. We need to move them because of contracts. So Fox Sports 2 actually has already been moved, and Hallmark's Movies and Mysteries will be added by July 1st. As all the other channels in this package have seen an increase in carriage, the department is recommending a modest $3.10 increase for expanded basic. That's including the franchise fee. Digistar Basic, that's the next level of service, which lost 2 channels because they were migrated to expanded basic. Those cost increases are offset by the loss of those 2 channels, so we're not recommending a rate increase for the Digistar Basic at the highest level. The comparison for similar channels delivered by satellite, Astound, AT&T, are also provided in the staff report and indicates that San Bruno Cable's packages and regular rates will continue to remain lower or comparable to the other local video service providers. As part of this increase staff will also launch a new product called TV Everywhere. It's online streaming, and we plan to launch it July 1st. There is no additional cost for the service. It's like video on demand. You can watch it as part of the service that you already are paying for. But it allows folks to look at videos on iPads or tablets or other devices if you have that service, if you're paying for that service through San Bruno Cable. The only other rate increase recommended is for the level 1 internet service. San Bruno Cable, as you all know, made significant investments in infrastructure improvements over the last 6 years for residential services with only 1 rate increase. Excuse me. Recovery of that investment and continued investments need to be recovered. The significant investments in network infrastructure replacement and upgrades is the reason for the increase. We recommend a $6.40 rate increase to address cost recovery for those internet investments. With that, the rate will still remain well below some providers and comparable to others, as shown in the rate comparison. As part of this rate increase for internet service, staff will upgrade level 1 speeds from 35 megabits per second to 50 as well. While the rates are comparable to other providers, delivery level of our service we feel is of high value to our customers. We still offer same day or next day business service calls, and they're free. We have 24-hour tech support. If you call in the evening, we will get a ticket. We'll come out the next day and take a look at your issue and repair it. We have a local office presence, so you can come in and get a box if you want. You don't have to drive 2 cities away. So there is a lot of value to San Bruno Cable that you don't have in other providers. Again, packages that have these services will see the rate increase as well. If you only have one service, then you'll see the rate increase, just with that one service. If you don't have any of these services, you won't see a rate increase. The second part of my presentation will focus on the low-income discount policy that we have currently in place. Currently, the low-income policy is just for basic TV service. In light of the community's desire to provide internet service to as many households as possible, the department is also seeking council approval to expand the low-income policy program in place for limited basic TV service to include basic internet service. The subcommittee recommended that staff propose a 50% discount on the 1995 service for a price point, thank you, of $9.99 for those that qualify for the low-income policy discounts or a household with students that qualify for free and reduced lunch programs. The basic service will be upgraded to 3 megabits per second, fast enough to look at homework, fast enough to see how your child is doing online, and fast enough even to stream, but not recommended. The discount would only be applied to the basic internet service, and customers would get free use of the modem for these services. The Cable Subcommittee met in April to review the proposed increases for internet and video and for this particular program, and recommended that we bring it forward to the council. As required by law, a 30-day rate increase notice will be delivered in the June bills. The rate increase information will also be posted on the website and on Channel 1. Again, here to answer any questions.
And any questions for Steve or Al? Ken?
Steve, thank you. The actual competition that a San Bruno resident, if they choose not to use San Bruno cable, would be UVerse or Dish?
That's correct.
Okay. How are we comparable with what they're offering? Because I know there's always advertising of packages and introductory packages, and I've watched our ads ad nauseum, on the fine print and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, are we really keeping an eye on that and targeting that?
So for UVerse, and I can speak to UVerse and raw bandwidth because those are the two internet competitors, we far exceed what they can offer in a reliable manner. When it comes to video, and I've got a comparative analysis on here with those two, with all of the folks, and UVerse is one of those, and Dish is one of those. The analysis is a little bit tougher because they might say, we got 150 channels. We only offer 100. So if you say, well, you're paying this much for 100 and that much for 150, is it really comparable? But look at the 150 channels. You have a USA East feed, a USA West feed. You have a Disney East feed. You're not really getting, and you have 8 shopping channels and lots of other types of channels that folks don't find a lot of value with. So we sort of have to glean that out when we do these comparisons to what they charge and what the most preferred packages are. And so we do look at that. We look at that carefully. I look at each of the packages they have, and we do a comparison. But we know for sure their their internet packages are not as comparable to ours.
Okay. I now have a question on the low-income discount.
Mm-hmm.
What data do we have as far as that penetration? Are we looking to gain customers even at a discounted rate, or are we looking at possibly reducing, what our revenue is on certain customers?
That's a good question. Yes, we have looked at that. There are currently, in aggregate, about 350 folks taking advantage of that program, and about less than 20 that actually have that basic level of internet service. So there's not a lot of loss of revenue a year, about $1,000 or so, a little bit more. But the idea, as you say, would be to garner new subscribers we don't have and make up that money and more with that program. And also goodwill in the community and again, the council's effort and the community's effort to offer more internet services to make it more available to a lot more folks. So, and as you all know, we've wired the entire city, so we've met the government's requirement to do that, and now it's a matter of offering a program like this.
Anything else for Steve or Al? Marty?
Rico? Marketing. How are we going to, any plans for new marketing when somebody moves into the city and they sign up for water? Are they given a hey, San Bruno cable notice and here's 2 months free or anything like that where we're trying to get them in?
You're hired. No. Yes, so if you go to the water department and you sign up for service, they do have our brochures over there to hand out for folks that are moving in. We've done some campaigns, not a lot of successful campaigns with the brochures that we've mailed out, that type of thing. It's not as successful as we knew. We are looking, as I mentioned in my other report, to bring on a firm, not just to do marketing of internet, but we bring on that firm and we rebrand our system. We want to market it heavily to the entire system, and we need a campaign for that. We've looked at radio or TV, and it's expensive. We've looked at door to door. We've done that before. That wasn't that successful. We looked at brochures. Now we're looking at social media as the means of getting folks in. So that's exactly the direction we're going to do that. So yes, that's a big part of the plan once we get rolling here.
And when would that marketing firm be on board, do you think?
Well, if we continue to do, I'm sort of mixing my staff reports here, but if we continue to do fiber and we decide that we want to roll this out, then we need to have a rebranding of our entire system, and that would be a great time to do that. If not, then we would have to do a program in-house to do that. And we have done what you suggested. We've done brochures at the office. We've gone to all the multi-dwelling units, the Shelter Creeks, the Crystal Springs. We drop our brochures off there, and they get them out to folks. So we've done some of that, but we need to do a little bit more, a little better at that. And so that's our plan.
Thank you.
Anything else? Any action on this item?
I'll introduce the resolution.
Councilmember O'Connell.
Yes.
Councilmember Rico Medina.
Aye.
Councilmember Ibera.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Marty Medina.
Aye.
Mayor Ruane.
Aye.